From retro to next gen, we've got it all. I'm George, a Gen X grown-up, and this is Bit by Bit. Here's a get it while it's hot bit from your friends at GenXGrownUp.com. Atari Studios is having a publisher sale now through May the 11th over on the Nintendo Switch, and they have 30 games that have discounts right now. So let's go through the list here real quick. By the way, this goes on until midnight, Sunday the 11th, 11:59 p.m. Pacific time on the 11th. Let's go through the list. Aka R, normally $20, on sale for $6. That's really good. Asteroids Recharge, like that game a lot, down to $3.50. Atari 50th. Ooh, what's that down to? Wow, $50 down to $30. Okay, solid price, because that's a really great game, documentary, whatever you want to call it. That's a lot of stuff there for that money. Flashback Classics down to $12. Quamp 2 down to $11 from $20, so almost half off. Neo Spirit, $25 down to $15. Wow, there's a lot of good stuff in here. The Rita's Rewind, $35 down to $25. I would like to see a bigger discount on that, but it's pretty popular, so I guess that's why they're not discounting it as much, because they don't have to right now. Let's see. We got Yars Rising down here, $30 down to $18. Some good solid prices all the way around. Tempest 4000, $20 down to $4. Ooh, The Thing Remastered. That's one I've been wanting to play for a while, and I haven't gotten a license from it yet. My friends over at Atari, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I would like to get a copy of that one, but 30 down to 23. Again, probably a pretty popular game. I know it's kind of new-ish, so makes sense. Totally Reliable Delivery Service Deluxe Edition. No idea what that is. That's really weird. Okay, let's go back up. Centipede Recharged, Lunar Lander Beyond. We already talked about Mighty Morphin. What else we got in here? Power Slaved Exhumed. PO Definitive Edition. Blade Runner Enhanced. Okay, $10 down to $2.50. There's a lot of good stuff in this list. If you're an Atari fan and you have a Nintendo Switch, you need to jump over there before the 11th and hit this sale up. Grab yourself some cheap titles and have a lot of fun. And here's a budget-friendly bit from Kotaku.com. Renting video game consoles is so back. And I love this article because the author talks about their very first time of ever renting a console, a PlayStation 2 from Blockbuster. I think we all have some experience one way or another renting a console from Blockbuster, whether it was a PlayStation or, in my case, a Nintendo Entertainment System. Yeah, I'm that old. Anyway, goes on to talk a little bit about this new company, well, not new company, but a Japanese rental chain called Geo, and they are renting out their PS5s. Now, they say they've got about 80% of them rented out, and I did some math on this thing here because I don't really understand it, but they say they're charging 980 yen to rent the PS5 for a week. Now, I did the calculations. That's a little under $7 per week to rent a PS5. Multiply that out by 52, you still end up cheaper than if you bought a PS5, which would totally blew me away. I would have thought it would have been the other way. For instance, Rent-A-Center here in the US, they rent them out for $26 a week. So I'm happy that there's a company making these consoles accessible to everyone in Japan, at least. I would really love if we get a company to do that here in the US. I might take a shot and play some PS5 myself, but for right now, the Japanese get the benefit of this company's awesome rental plan, and I imagine they're going to get to play a lot of fun games. Here's a fun retro Atari bit from boingboing.com, or .net actually, I think. It's kind of hard to tell with that font. But anyway, somebody has hacked the original Gauntlet to be a full-screen game. And it was always a full-screen game, but I mean, they took it, and you know how you play Gauntlet, and it's in this little zoomed-in section, and as you move around the maze, it follows you and tracks so that you can see the part of the maze that you're in, but no other parts. Well, somebody hacked it so that you can see the entire maze on the screen at one time. So originally, you would play the game in 33 336 by 240 mode. Now, I know the resolutions today, people are like, that was a resolution? Yeah, that was a resolution in the arcades back then, and we loved it. And now this new hack allows you to play it in 1024 by 768, which is the full width of the entire screen. And you get to see the whole thing. There's a cool video down here. It's 17 minutes, but it's just gameplay of this hack. I don't know how to get a hold of this thing, but I damn well am going to try and find out because I love Gauntlet. And watching this video, it completely changes how you play the game. I think in a good way. Now, I know some people will be like, that's kind of like cheating because you get to see things you shouldn't normally see, but damn it to hell if it isn't cool. I wish I'd have thought of it earlier, but I'm sure glad that Boing.Boing or Boing, what is it? Boing.net. I'm glad that they found this hack and shared it with us because I'm a fan already. This time I've got a question for you coming from a bit over at xda.com. Have you ever longed for the days of Windows 3.1 while you were playing your Game Boy? Well, you don't have to long for it anymore. Somebody's made it possible. You can now play or emulate or use Windows 3.1 on a Game Boy with the GBS Windows cartridge. Now, this cartridge is for sale over on Etsy.com. Lists for about €40, around $45 US. I don't know if I would ever want to play around with Windows 3.1 stuff on a Game Boy, but you know what? Damn it. This is pretty freaking cool. You can see some of the screenshots here. Of course, they've got Minesweeper in there. They've got the Paint app in there for drawing some stuff. Who the hell cares? If you want to go spend your $45 on a cartridge that gives you Windows 3.1 or at least in emulation, you know what? Have a good time. That's freaking awesome. Here's a musical bit from GamersHeroes.com. Super MadNES 80s Arcade has released their new album, or announced their new album, Defenders of the City. Let's go through and take a look real quick at this list, which is inspired from 80s and 90s arcade classics. We've got Shadow Soldier from Ninja Gaiden, Chasing Him Until the End, also Ninja Gaiden, Last Fight Ninja Gaiden, RoboCop Prime Directives, that's nice, some Double Dragon stuff in here, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Fire is the one that's highlighted in this YouTube video, and I listened to it. These seem to be all instrumentals. I've gone through and listened to samples of each one of the songs. They are heavy metal sounding instrumentals. I'm not taking anything away, but it's not the heavy metal that I think of. It's not screaming loud, hard into the microphone because, again, it's all instrumental, but they're really fun and good. I might actually have to pick this album up for myself. Let's see. Defenders City is our ultimate tribute to classic heavy metal music and 80s retro video games. You can follow them on Instagram. Let's see. Where can you buy this at? Looks like they've got some links here that take you over to Bandcamp. That makes sense. Okay, so they've released this over on Bandcamp. You can get them. You can get the digital, the CD, some tapes. Oh, that's right. I saw the tapes on there. Or some shirts on their Bandcamp website. So head over there, check it out. If you're inspired to grab it, Marcus, I know you love music. This might be right up your alley, buddy. But for those who are fans of heavy metal and 80s arcade retro goodness, this should be a perfect fit. That's going to do it for the news making headlines in the gaming world right now. I am George, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button, and I'll keep on bringing you the news bit by bit.